What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Flowers. For those that's new to my channel, this is my segment where I like to give some albums that I feel deserve a little recognition, or some of my favorite albums that I feel are slept on, or just albums that I want to give acknowledged to and give them their flowers. So today, which is funny because I was gonna do this anyway, but it's crazy how the universe works and things just line up. So I was gonna do a review and give this album or mixtape its flowers, but then the artist released I guess put the mixtape on streaming services now with 5 extra songs, so it made it even better. I'm glad I waited. So without further ado, today I'm gonna be reviewing Nicki Minaj's "Beam Me Up, Scotty."
I fell back, I had a baby.
Wow, this is crazy. Like, this mixtape came out. The original mixtape came out in April of 09, I believe. So long ago. That's so fucking crazy that it's been that long. Nicki Minaj just re-released it on streaming services, which is great. I think it's great that artists, especially mixtape artists and artists who built their brand pretty much back in the day on mixtapes, are putting those records and albums on streaming services now. I know the clearance fees and everything else got to be crazy, but which probably a reason a couple songs, 3 or 4 songs, was missing off the streaming service version of the album. That's hard to say. But I'm glad I could be here today and, go over some of my favorite songs from the records, go over some memories from the record, and, just give it its flowers. So let's get it started. If you haven't already, hit that like and subscribe button. We're trying to get to 1,000. We're almost to 800. Just keep helping me out. Tell a friend that tells a friend that, there's this guy on YouTube and his show is pretty cool. He talks about music and music and more music and music and music and music. And get ready to leave your comments below. The album starts with Seeing Green. She put 5 new songs before the original mixtape start, which I thought was dope. Seeing Green, and it's a classic Drake. It's a classic Nicki, Drake, and Wayne track. I was watching her Instagram live when she was talking to Drake, and she was speaking about how she was in a writer's block, and when he sent her this record, it kind of got her out of that writer's block, and she was asking him, like, what made you send me this record and things of that nature. And it also shows how unselfish Drake is and how, he sees, I guess, like a good, for lack of better words, executive producer, you might sound good on this kind of track, right? And for that reason that he gave it to her and got her out of Rise Block is so dope in itself. But another dope thing, which is really dope about this record, is that Lil Wayne sounds incredible. Like, he sounds like 09 Wayne when this mixtape came out. Like, he really sounded great on this record. And being a Wayne fan, and growing up a Wayne fan and just going through the ups and downs of Wayne, being a Wayne fan, especially in recent years, it was just great to hear him back in that mode. It was good to hear all 3 of them back in the mode that I grow to love them for. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate this record. One of the lines that stood out to me: Cedar told me to stump my ass off, and that's all. Bop, bop, bop. He was a good cat, my bad dog. I was like, ooh, that's a dope line. One of my favorite Nicki lines on that record was, no one bitch could be my op. That shit offends me. It's corporate giants and machines that went against me. I was like, psh, hell yeah. Because if you look back, I discussed this on my, you can go back and listen to my Queen review when I was discussing all the shit that was pretty much being thrown at Nicki Minaj by the industry to halt her in a way and just get her out the paint, for lack of better words. So it was good to hear her. Well, she acknowledged it before on Queen Radio. But it was just good to hear her speak it up on this one. But my favorite record out of the bunch, well, the 2 new tracks, maybe 3 new tracks, I think Crocodile Teeth, but my favorite out of that was Fractions with that Where I'm From sample flip, Jay-Z. That shit is just hard. They better push that. I mean, I'm pretty sure they're just gonna push Seeing Green, but they ain't really a commercial single. But Fractions, and she just spitting all the way through it. Bitches say they want action, and we want action. So I come through and line them like Fractions. Like, I was like, oh my gosh, this shit is just like, when those type of slow, hard tempos, I think that's Nicki's bag when she wants to pop her shit. What was the other one? Looking Ass Nigga. Like, it's like a slow, kind of darkish hard drum bop, and she kills that shit every single time. Like, Infractions is just it was a standout to me, and within the 5 new tracks she added to the mixtape. We get Crocodile Teeth, which is a cool record. We get Chirac, which came out in like 2014. Boss Ass Bitch, that came out in like 13, 14 as well. Then we get into the actual mixtape, and it's funny listening to the newer Nicki and then going into the older Nicki, and you hear like her voice is different, and you hear. I'll get more into it in my recap, but you hear. You just hear that hunger and that funness in that portion when you get to the older mixtape, and it just felt good to hear. Some of my favorites on the mixtape itself, Itty Bitty Piggy. I think that's like a classic. That's just a classic Nicki record. Like, I think any Nicki fan can probably recite that song word for word. Yup. Like, it's just a dope ass record, man. Like you could just tell she was having fun on there. You can hear the hunger. Like, and I look back, listening to it, I was like, let me go watch the video for it. And just to see the old Nicki in the club with the Louis shades on, and she's still popping her shit like she's the biggest thing on the planet at the time. And she was like, you lose, I win, like things of that nature. And you just hear her swag, and you just hear something new. It was just great. Like, it was just great. This is the reason why I love these things to be on streaming service, so they can live forever and they not lost in history, or for people who don't know about Dat Piff apps and things of that nature, or don't have it on their computers already, but just you go back and you hear the beginning, the genesis of it all, and that's just dope to me. Oh, I'm sorry. Go back to Fractions real fast. One of my favorite lines, whole city going up when we touch down like niggas in the huddle. Like, I love that flow she did on there. I love the ending bar where she says, while I count a milli, jigga what, jigga who? A mill? Yeah, I love that a mill double entendre. If those don't know who a mill is, you do your research. I Get Crazy, a classic Nicki and Wayne joint. And one of the things I do love about this mixtape is that Wayne gave her 3 features on here, and she technically wasn't even signed to Young Money yet. That's crazy. I forgot about that song until it played, and I was like, oh, shit. Like, she was holding her own with Wayne toe-to-toe like it was nothing. Like, that was one of the great things about Nicki Minaj. She was killing, well, I'll get into it, Kill the DJ. That song reminds me of old Nicki, obviously, but it reminds me of, like, hooks on Pink Friday. But you do. Like, it's like, I don't think she even uses that voice anymore to sing. Well, I was mentioning that she was holding her own with Wayne. She was holding her own with Gucci as well. Gucci's on here, I think, like 3 times. And, just to show, just her story is crazy, from being with Fendi to going with Miss Deb to Young Money, and just she was around Gucci, the whole Brick Squad, to New York niggas, and to Young Money. It's just like, her story is just crazy. Like, it was building so much that it had to spill over and like become greatness. Summer Party is dope. Gucci went off on there. Banana boat full of blow. Like, he was just banana clip to cut your throat. Like, he was just going in. Like, I just love that shit. What did she say? It's a line on there. She was like, got that super soaker pussy pop like cola coca. Plus it's tighter than the choker. Got him smiling like the Joker. And she was like, I got that na 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 na. Like, I was like, this. She was just in a zone, bro. Just in a fucking zone. Shopaholic with Gucci Mane again, and Bobby V. And even the skits on here where she, Nicki speaks and she talks about being in the mall and people rushing Gucci, or the end when she talks about, when she speaks in the Roman voice. Where's Roman? Bring Roman back with the next album, Nicki. Gotta Go Hard, which is probably one of our favorite ones. I think that on that record, she stood toe-to-toe with Wayne perfectly. She spazzed on Go Hard. Like, fucking spazzed on Go Hard. Like, if people want to know, like, people who sleep on Nicki now, go back and listen to this. Listen to Go Hard. Listen to Itty Bitty Piggy. Listen to all that stuff and see the origin of how she was just killing shit, just murdering shit, murdering dudes. Lil Wayne was the top rapper at the time. Nobody was killing Wayne. He was hopping on people's songs and features, killing them, and she was killing him. For real, for real. Hit him with the Mac, hit him with the Tech 9, hit him with the Ruger by the intersect sign, hit him with the Tommy, so my niggas call me Pammy. Always keep the jammy in the truck or the lammy. Like, her Fuck it. When she hit the I'm a bad bitch, no muzzle, or what was the other line? Bitch is softer than El Dente. I'm cut from a different kente. Cloth. Oh, Jesus Christ. She was killing that shit. And Winter Wonderland got like it's just so many flows and so many shit she was bouncing in and out on this album. It was so fucking dope. And one of my favorite Wayne Johnson names was like, he said, "You ain't fucking with me, you ain't fucking with Nick, they ain't fucking with me, they ain't fucking with Nick. Your girl, her decision is split because she wanna fuck me and she wanna fuck Nick." I was like, this nigga Wayne was nuts. Then we go into the Best I Ever Had remix. I forgot how great of a song Best I Ever Had was. It's been so long. Like I haven't probably listened to that song since 2009, 2008, 2009. It's 2021 now. I just forgot how great that song was. Keys Under Palm Trees is dope. Silly is dope. Easy with Gucci and Rocco is dope. Only one I really didn't like was Envy. Yeah, I don't like that song at all. Can You Hear Me? I thought that was dope because it's Can You Hear Me? To me, sounded like a letter to. It sounded like Nicki Minaj knew what was about to happen. She knew how big she was about to get. She knew the pressure that was about to come. And she, she says things like, "Tell Debbie I really, really tried. That I said I'm sorry, but I had to say goodbye. Tell Fendi I never forget him. And please tell Wayne I'll always be indebted." And, it's when these stars become these stars, it's always people behind them that push them to that level, right? So Nicki Minaj, she started off with Fendi. He discovered her. And, she wanted to go by Nicki Minaj, but he told her to use Nicki Minaj. She said she ain't never really liked that name, but it worked. Pushed her to the next level. Then she connects with Deb in Atlanta, and then she's with Brick Squad. She's with Gucci. She's soaking up all this game, and like Gucci was running the underground back then. So like she was soaking up all that stuff and building this character, building this superhero. And then she connects with Wayne, and it's like sky's the limit from there. And she, like I said at the beginning, she wasn't even technically signed with Wayne at the time of this. So she's selling them like, I'm forever indebted to you. Like even if it don't even go the way that it's supposed to go. Like, cause even on the record, she was talking about, meetings with L.A. Reid and different labels. Nicki Minaj was hot as fucking fish grease back then. So I'm pretty sure she had a bunch of, her and Drake, I'm pretty sure it was a bunch of people just wanting to sign them. And it's great and dope that they both still stayed with the label and the person that introduced them to us in a major way. So that song is really dope. And I didn't really pay attention to it back then, but listening to it now in retrospect, that's a great fucking record, man. Great record. And she's like talking to God. It's like, I think she has a record like that on Pink Friday as well, where it's like a letter to the old Nicki in a way. That's like part 2 to this to me. So just a dope record. Still I Rise. I remember that record on Dedication 3 off the T.I. beat. No Matter What. Dope record as well. And then it closes out with Beam Me Up Scotty. And yeah, closes out in a great way, man. I think this is dope for her to put this back on streaming services. Let me get into my favorite songs. Itty Bitty Piggy. It's so hard to say. Gotta Go Hard. And I Get Crazy. I Get Crazy. And then I didn't want to pick any of the new records just because I wanted to really just stick to the core of the actual mixtape. But obviously, you heard me praise Fractions. You heard me praise Seeing Green. Chirac is fucking dope. What the fuck? Boss Ass Bitch. I'm a boss. Like, all those records are dope, but I just wanted to stick to the core. Worst song, Envy. Like I said before, I really wasn't feeling that song. It's the only one in retrospect, I look back and I was like, I don't really like this song in 2021. Best line, I ain't even gonna say it, but it's not even a line. It's just the first verse from Itty Bitty Piggy. Like, I was on the plane with the wine. Call me Whitney cause I go to heal mine. Like, what's another line in that joint? When you was in New York, you was fucking a Yankee. I was running bass. I was pitching to Frankie. Like, shit of that nature. It's just dope. These bitches so cranky. Get them a hanky. Mommy, I'm cold. Give me a blankie. And she do like a stutter. Don't be acting like a cardinal with the fumble and shit. Cause I'm a stiller. Fresh out the dealer. Like, those lines are just dope. That whole first verse of that record is just dope to me. That's my best line. But let's wrap this shit up, though.
I was on the plane with the wine. You could call me Whitley. I go to.
In closing, I think it's amazing that, and I want all the great mixtape artists to put their shit on mixtapes. I know how hard it is to put it on mixtape, the clearances and everything, but Nicki putting this on streaming services it's great that it's there because it reminds people of how great she is. It shows people the beginning. It shows people just don't forget. You know what I mean? I think this is a perfect thing, and she's selling what 70 some thousand in the first week off a 12-year-old mixtape. So kudos to her for that. And I'm just anxious for the next release. I want to see what she does next. I want to see what's her new story. I want to see how motherhood affected her writing, how motherhood affected her story, how because Nicki Minaj been through a lot of stuff in this time period, and some good and some bad. But it's just great that we can celebrate Beam Me Up Scotty being on streaming services and give her flowers and see her getting all the praise that she's coming back to social media and things of that nature is great because she is, if not to me, the best female rapper of all time. So again, I just wanted to give her flowers. This is probably like my fourth Nicki Minaj review. Shows you how much of a fan I am. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So flowers for Nicki Minaj. Beam Me Up Scotty. Thank you. I'm Tatum. Peace.